Hello and welcome back to another video here on my channel, Helki. Today I wanted to get back to talking about tarot, but not necessarily a teaching video. I just wanted to have fun today. I like to spend a little bit of time over on Tarottok and Witchtok and all that good stuff. I understand it's definitely not somewhere I want to spend too much of my time. But I like to dip in and out, and I like to sometimes even give readings over there. I actually really like the energy of the app in general. It feels a lot more authentic to Instagram, but YouTube is my place. That's where I like to be online. But anyways, I was on Tarottok. I was noticing something about particularly a lot of the live readers. So people who are on the lives giving readings, which can be a really fun place to dip in sometimes. You get to see a lot of different readers, and I was noticing that a lot of the readers were using this one deck, and it wasn't until Tarottok that I'd even noticed this deck. Now that I've sat and thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I think I do know of a deck like this in the past, but it's just never been one that's come up in my radar until now. But a lot of readers were using this deck, and I thought it was interesting because it seems like a learning deck or a beginning deck, but a lot of people were using it. I didn't think much of this deck until one day I was on Shein and I got suggested this deck, the Meaning Tarot. So obviously I was guessing this is a learning deck that you would use when you didn't know the meanings of the cards, but obviously a lot of these readers are using these cards online. Who knows? Is it because they have a genuine connection with this deck? Like maybe they learned on it and now it's just their working deck, right? My working deck is the first ever Rider-Waite deck that I got. I've tried to replace it and I switch in and out now and again, but I get the best readings from that deck. It was the second tarot deck I ever had, but my first Rider-Waite, right? So there is a connection there. So now are we seeing that with all these modern decks, we have this Meaning Tarot deck. It isn't by anyone as far as I can see. I don't know if it was created by Shein or Shein ripped off the original creator of this deck. But normally when Shein rips off a tarot deck, they use the name of the creator still on the deck, so this deck doesn't have that, so that's interesting. Who knows, is it a Shein original? It would be the first. But anyway, normally I would not buy a deck from Shein. As we know, they are completely plagiarizing, ripping off tarot creators as well as other artists, I'm sure. But hey, this deck, I needed to get it, all right? I needed to feed this curiosity. And now I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to open the deck, have a little unboxing and a look-see together, and we will continue the conversation. Okay, let's get this going. Honestly, cannot wait to open this deck. So if you're interested what decks I have out here right now: Crystal Visions, Celtic Dragons, Cozy Witch. This is my newest deck actually. I might do a walkthrough of this. It was one I really wanted. I didn't want this mini version though, but I ended up with it. And I have some oracle decks because I was going to do a video with some oracles, but kind of changed my mind on that. It was the Mist of Avalon Oracle, the Garden Dragons, Angelarium, and Witch's Wisdom. And Witch's Wisdom, taking it back, right? This just really brings me back. All right, let's unbox, shall we? So looking at the box, you know, there's this sticker here. Let's see what it says. It's just looking very basic and strange right now with no creator or artist listed. Fast forward this. Oh my god, it's finally gonna see what these fake decks feel like. I'm really getting a feeling that this is a real deck that they've pulled off, and it's making me start to feel really guilty for buying it, so I might have to. What I do when this happens is I try and buy the original. So this has happened on Amazon before. I bought a deck and it was a fake, and I managed to obtain, I actually got gifted the real version, but I was like, oh my god, I needed this. It was on my list to get. So even though it doesn't say whose deck it is or anything, it's just like with the design on the back and things, it's really making me think this could be a real deck. And if it is, I will promise it will be on my to buy list and I will purchase it to support the original artist or creator. But so far I'm actually liking the feel of it. So it feels small. I would say this is an average tarot card. Okay, it is small. It's more like a playing card. Yeah. So it feels small, but I like the back. So this kind of confirms it is the one I'm seeing on TikTok. I'm pretty sure the one on TikTok had these backs. And it's not a very clear picture, and I know it's because there's the like sun fog kind of lighting in here, where it's that afternoon sun lighting. It's not great, but I'll tell you, it's very dark and subtle in person on the print. It's not looking any more pronounced. Okay, so let's go through the cards. What have we got? Doesn't look... Oh yeah, it is in order. So we have the original Rider-Waite, which is what I was expecting. They're looking just like the ones I'm seeing on TikTok. So I'm actually really interested to see what information's been put with this. And if it wasn't made by a creator, was it made by AI or something? But my guess is that it's made by someone, a creator. And Shein have ripped it off. Like, now that I've got it in my hands, I find it hard to believe. Okay, so it's Ace of Cups, and it's got like a highlighted keyword here. It says, open your heart and receive the emotions around you. That is interesting. That is not the key phrase I would have imagined they'd put here. You know, I think it would be something about having really strong potential for a new relationship or a new creation or baby, pregnancy, right? So that is interesting, and I like that. Open your heart and receive the emotions around you. Although I don't feel like it gives you much. Then it has keywords underneath: unconditional love, new feelings, I was expecting more like that. This is making sense. New feelings, new friendship, beauty, pleasure, self-love. It has the water symbol here, and it says it's water here. Then on the other side it has the number 1, new beginnings, inspirations, origin, enlightenment. You know what? I like that. I actually think, as a numerologist, that these are really good key words for the word one, for the number 1, sorry. And I'm guessing reversed, it will be the reverse meaning. Yep. So repressed emotion, blocked logic, emotional overwhelm, alteration, emptiness. Interesting. Blocked logic is like interesting and very true, I think. It does represent the energy well. It's not going to be a very interesting walkthrough because we know these cards. So what have we said for 7? Investigation, mastery, responsibility, willpower. And I wonder if they've done the same for like the next 7. Investigation, mastery. Oh, instead of responsibility, it's changed to discovery, willpower. And that makes more sense for 7. Discovery, definitely. Investigation, yes. Mastery, yeah. And willpower, yeah. I always get solitude for 7 as well. I would have put there. Responsibility, yeah, in the tarot 7, yeah, I get that. So they're slightly changing the energies of the numbers, and that kind of makes sense because I do believe the energies of the numbers do get affected by the element with the minor arcana. So this is all feeling resonant at the moment. Obviously, I'm not using you wouldn't know until you use a deck, like in a reading. I would personally find this other stuff distracting. So especially because of the Rider-Waite cards, and that's my system that I work from intuitively anyway. So like when I use different pictures, like different decks, right? And this is kind of in Rider-Waite inspired, but not 100%. So I definitely do feel inspired by the new, fresh take on it when I'm doing my intuitive readings. So that's why I would find this distracting as someone who knows the meanings of the cards and already, you just can't help to think, oh, what actually have they written here? But also I think it could, it's hard because I'm really liking the feel of this deck in my hand. I'm resonating with what the creator has put on the cards that I have read. Be open to receive the healing and nurturing you need. Yeah. Imaginative, kind, good-natured, compassionate, calm, receptive, embodiment. And that's quite cool with the quartz. They've put the element of the person. So the queens are all water, right? The kings are all fire. I don't know if I agree. Okay, so what have they put on this? A harsh truth is better than a soft lie. Pain, suffering, bitter truth, separation, strife, selfishness, heartbreak. That's pretty good. Although I would have put growth or painful growth. Maybe there. Oh, look, 3, growth, yeah. Because I was thinking of 3. Energy, groups, community. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so now I'm seeing in the cards there are astrology signs, but not all of them, because there wasn't for the Ace or the King of Water. Okay, so I kind of missed that. So on most of the cards it looks like they have an astrology sign associated with them too. So I never actually learned the astrology system side of the tarot. It just was, I understand planetary energies and, zodiac energies and stuff, because I definitely have spent a good amount of years studying astrology, studying Vedic astrology, sidereal astrology, and eventually sort of landed myself what was sort of my thing, right, which was tarot and numerology. And I just sort of ended up because they're big studies, like astrology is a huge study, and even bringing that into my tarot, like it could be something I do. Maybe this deck could help me do that, start bringing astrology into the tarot, because obviously I understand the energy of Aries, right? So did they give you planets? Yes, they give you planets too. So there's Earth and Saturn. So I understand the energy of Aries or Leo and Saturn and Mars, right? Now that I think about it, one of my favourite teachers from the internet, Mother Moon, sadly her channel's been taken down. Now she's taken it down, I believe. But she always taught me, she would always teach about I guess the decans, she would call them, or something like that, within the tarot, and it's connected with astrology. So each there's so many cards within. I don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't do astrology and tarot together, but I'm open to it, and maybe I'm saying that this could be the deck that brings it more to my awareness. I'll start associating the energy of Virgo and Earth more with the Ten of Pentacles, right? It totally makes sense now that I think about that. So it'd be interesting to use this deck to just look at that system alone for me. So definitely seeing the benefit of a deck like this. What really intrigued me was the idea that these are practiced professional tarot readers, and they're still using this deck, right? Because they're professionally giving readings, charging money on their lives for readings, but they're using this deck, and that fascinates me. I feel like, is this sort of a new generational thing where people, where we have modern decks such as this that people are actually learning from, rather than, I guess, the way we learned in the old days from books and in intuition and practice, like just non-stop practice and the book, right, and intuition. So this is really, really fascinating to me, and I think interesting that it shows how powerful the connection that we have with that first deck that clicks for us. Let me show you mine. And I've shown this on my channel so many times, so I'm sure a lot of you are aware how much I love my working deck, and it was my first ever Rider-Waite. It was the deck that woke me up to, I guess, my gifts, or my strong connection I feel with the tarot, and how I do my energy readings with them. It just brought everything to life for me. It was like I just knew these images from a past life, and it was the deck I learnt on as well. Okay, so that's what a lot of people are learning on these days, is decks like this, as I'm seeing practiced readers still using this deck. And I could be wrong, and these could be people who still don't quite know the meanings, I guess. I don't know. But that's not the impression I get it. The impression is that they have a connection with this deck. They're often very beaten up, where they've used them a lot. And I am a like, I like to really try and look after my things. It's how I've always been. Like, I don't like things getting all beaten up. So you can see this is an old deck with the discolouring and stuff. But I don't like wrap it in cloth or anything. Like if I'm traveling with it, I put it in a bag. Otherwise I leave it out on the table. And I'm not like precious with it, but I'm also not like stabbing up my cards. But you can see it's an age deck, and I do see these decks that the people use it often look very aged and worn in. So anyways, let's do a little reading to test it out and see how I read with it. Is interest. That's what's going to be interesting for me. So I'm sort of, there's someone out there that needs this message right now, is the reading. So what do they need to know? And you take it if it resonates with you, and you leave it if it doesn't resonate. We'll have to give it a mega shuffle because it's all in order. But see, the quality of the cards I can already see maybe is not the best. They do just feel like normal cheap playing cards, which actually feels nice for shuffling, but can you see there's a little bow already there? And like, look at my old good quality Rider-Waite deck. It's pretty straight, right? That's pretty dead straight. And you can imagine how many times I've ripple shuffled that, and so already getting a bow. What you can do if you have like cheaper cardstock like this is just switch which way you're shuffling it, right? Just continue to shift it. Like that. Alrighty, we'll end on that 10 of Cups. Hands are feeling a bit dry from, I don't know if it's the cardstock because they're new. Okay, so tuning in now. Feels so dry on my hands, like I feel like I need to wet my hands. Okay. Anyone interested? We have 8 of Wands at the bottom. So not a bad shuffle, I guess. And the 2 sword courts. I have here is my normal element spread. We have air, fire, water, earth. 2 cards fell out for earth. That's why there's 5 cards. So we have 2 major arcana cards come up. 1 pentacle card. 1 air/swords. 2 air/swords cards. So there is a strong spiritual message here. The 2 major arcana cards coming up. But what I think I'll do is, what I'm feeling drawn to do is just give the reading as I normally would, ignoring the text, and then maybe I'll try and do a reading with the text and then just see what that looks like. Okay, so the question was like what you need to know right now, and so it's like bringing awareness to, okay, for you. So within the mental energy, we're seeing the 3 of Pentacles here. So what I'm getting from this straight away is I'm seeing the 3 and I'm thinking there's growth going on within the mental energy, and it's starting to manifest because it's the Pentacles, right? The Pentacles is what's manifested, but it's showing up in the mental energy, which isn't manifest, right? It's within your mind. But what we're seeing is the outcome, the manifestation of the work that has been done for you mentally, like the positive work that you're doing, the positive focus towards yourself, any affirmations, anything like that. This is starting to manifest physically for you positively, which feels really good, like great recognition of the work that you're doing. So here, what I'm getting is from the placement of the spread. So this is going out of reader Helki into explaining my thought process, Helki. So now I was looking at the 3. I'm seeing growth in this area of the mind because the placement of the spread is air. It's representing your mental energy. So that feels really significant and the fact that it's Pentacles, it's not like the 3 of Swords, right? It's the 3 of Pentacles is telling me progress, right? The growth is nearly complete. It's nearly fully manifested because I see the Pentacles as the last in the order of the suits, right? It's the final manifestation. So what we're seeing is like growth actually solidifying in the mental area as well. Like it's just, you're actually changing the way you're thinking, the way you're seeing things, and this is a positive thing, and then it's manifesting into changing your life a lot actually, and feeling a lot more recognition. Then let's complete the whole reading, right? And then I will go back. Actually, no, because I've just spoke about this now. So let's now look at how I might read this card. If I wasn't using my intuition and my own inner knowing and knowledge of the cards, then what would I say? I know that this represents the mental energy, the air, because of the placement. And I guess the first thing I would see is reach out for the help you need when you need it. Cooperation, gain, teamwork, creativity, realization, influence, common goals, opening to communication, groups, and maturing. Capricorn, Earth. Yeah. Alright, well, I don't feel like I would have got the same reading actually at all by using that. I probably would have thought, okay, you're struggling with something, reach out for help, because it says reach out for help here. Like teamwork, it is something you can get with the 3 of Pentacles for sure. I'm not seeing like recognition, and for me, like the 3 of Pentacles really is like recognition. You're continuing to grow, and people are noticing it, and they're seeing your growth, they're seeing your achievements, right? I don't know, it's strange. Okay, so I'm really failing at this, but I guess I would have said, maybe you need some help. I don't know, like how do people read like this? Okay, I think this is not going to be as easy as I thought, but I guess I would say it really feels like a good time for you right now to reach out and collaborate with other people on creative projects. Be open to communication. I don't know. We'll see if the whole reading makes sense with the cards also. But that so far doesn't sound anything like the reading I just gave before reading the card. We have a Wheel of Fortune, and this is showing up in like your actions, your intentions, right? Your fire energy. And so first of all, I'm thinking, all right, should I just skip the reading? Okay, so I guess what I'm getting from this card is like it's your intentions and where you're moving towards. It's are uncertain at the moment. They feel uncertain, but to trust and just follow your intuition is the guidance coming through. Like you need to know it's okay right now to feel uncertain, but to trust like what guy, you know, like where you feel pulled to, where you end up, because it's like meant to be and you're right where you need to be. You're sort of with the, you know, the 10 energy, I am seeing that you're in this process of letting go of what was and beginning to understand and initiate what's going to be next for you. And I think, yeah, I told you what I read from the 10 there, because it's that process, the 10 of completing the cycle and getting ready for the journey again, for the next chapter. And then like with the Wheel of Fortune, it's sort of like you don't know what to expect. It could go either way. Uncertainty, right? But it's in this area of the spread, which is about your actions, your intentions. So it shows that there's uncertainty even within your intentions and your actions moving forward. Like there's a lot of uncertainty, but to kind of trust where you're guided to go and where you end up is definitely the message I'm getting here. Looking at the card reading, the card reading would have been you have strength in new beginnings. The cycle restarts is the key phrase. Change, chance, fate, happiness, cycles, destiny, luck, karma. 10, completion, return. Completion for me is a key word for the number 9. Personally, that's what I feel. Return, higher level, success, true will. I don't really necessarily get that from higher level. Yeah, I guess they could come from 10, those. And we have Jupiter, which is kind of abundant energy, right? Jupiter's huge, expansive energy that's very abundant. So, like, I guess if I got this card, I'd be like, you're moving towards abundance, because I'd see that Jupiter, and like you're on track. You're on your fated path. You just need to trust and follow joy and happiness, right? And I really wouldn't say that my reading was that different from the reading I've got from the card here. So here I am actually seeing similarities, which is very different than this card. So that is interesting to see. Similar in the fact that my reading was saying, I was looking at that 10 energy and saying, okay, it's okay to be in this unsure place, like the unsureness with the Wheel of Fortune card, the unpredictability of it, but you're actually right where you need to be. And it's always a bit like that in the in-between, right? And I always think of the number 10 as the in-between energy. It's strong in-between energy. This is going to go on. Maybe this reading is resonating for somebody though. Somebody who's obviously been really working on their brain training and their like mental health, and somebody who is sort of wrapping a period in their life up, and they're feeling, they're understanding, they're knowing that they're on a new journey now. That if that's you, then I'm really happy for you, because it feels good. Your energy feels good. So we have another 3 showing up. Interesting. It is a 3. 12, it's number 12, and 12 is a 3. So I like that they've done that. That's really cool. Because 3 is never on the Knight of Swords. This is in the position of the spread of the heart, the emotions, right? So this is the feelings. And so with the Knight of Swords, the Knights always make me think of movement. And I'm feeling like with the swords, it's like mentality, right? So it's like moving towards more like-minded people who you feel, because it's in the area of your feelings, who you feel are more like-minded to you, and someone who you can bounce off and express things with and get inspired by. So you are being asked to move towards people, because it's a court card as well, who feel like that for you. Okay, and that's sort of the advice I'm getting for that card. Is not much more depth to that. If I was doing the reading by the card alone, you are strong, energetic, and ready to take on the world. Okay, quite different to me. What I said: fearless, ambitious, competitive, logical, scientific, skillful, brave, clever. Definitely all things that you can get from the Knight of Swords energy. We have the 3, open to communication, groups, growth. That does resonate. So I guess you can see I did pick up a bit with the 3 energy there. So it is definitely you're needing to feel more connected to the people you're communicating with as well, right? I don't feel like my reading was too different from, say, the numerology meaning here, but I wouldn't say it was very in line with what's being said here. So this feels like sort of in between these two, hitting in places, missing in others. But overall, I do feel like me reading with these meanings, it wouldn't be giving you, the person who this reading is resonating for, the right reading, basically. That's why I do think it's really important to actually just sort of use the images, yeah, without the words, actually. And I'm feeling more sort of sure that's the way to channel, like, or read with the cards, or whatever it is. It's the way I read, at least. You're connecting the energy to the person who needs to hear the message, if it's an open general reading like this, or to the client. And that energy is like directed, and it's I'm picking up on the nuances and what you need to be hearing, right? And that could be difficult to abide by if just reading the limitation of the words on the card. But could definitely be a great way to learn, as long as you continue to expand on what's here, because there's not a lot here, definitely not enough, I don't think, to fully dive into a card or understand it fully. Okay, so we're on the last cards here. We have, this is what's sort of manifesting, this is what's showing up. So right now you really are in the process of, it seems like, coming out of some heavy shadow work, understanding your calling. It feels connected to the mental work we were talking about earlier, because again, we have like really strong mental strength, like fully manifesting here, which feels so powerful. And a big change ahead of you with that 5 energy, big change that's moving towards harmony with that too as well. Also feels like you're kind of at like a very important stage of your life right now, whether it's been the last year or so, or then it's gonna be now and the next year, but big transformation kind of happening within you, where you feel very different from the person you was a few years ago. Just a lot of growth has been had, and you're moving into a much more peaceful time in your life, which feels very good and very open and very trusting of what is and what is to come, which also feels very nice energetically. So that is the reading complete. What would I pick up from the cards here? We have the 2, I need to balance priorities when making choices. Interesting. That's not really what I picked up from the 2. The 2 felt, for me, more harmonious. It felt more supportive. And here, the 5, we have energy of the unexpected, conflict and strife, movement. Yeah, that definitely makes sense for 5 within the tarot, but they don't have the keyword change here, which is really important word for the 5. Change and expansion, adventure, right? There's a lot more positive words for 5, but I do find with the tarot we tend to not see that side of the 5 so much. Think things through from all perspectives. Yeah, so I feel like if I was reading from these cards, I guess I would say like you seem to be coming on to a very enlightened path now, that you're beginning to find your purpose. This is me just reading off here. But you need to make sure you're balancing your priorities and making the right choices. Oh my God, I'm literally reading off the cards. I don't know how people do this and feel authentic. Okay, I don't know, that felt a bit judgy and mean. And I don't mean that at all, because I do know that everybody's different, right? And actually can get so much from like reading from the book, reading from the card like this, and I hate to sound as if I think that isn't okay or something, because it is, if that message is resonating with you and is helping you, then all the power to you, and that's freaking amazing, and never stop, right? I'm just trying to understand this from a fun, light-hearted perspective, all right? This deck, I think I will play with it maybe now and then, and as I said, I'll buy the real deck if it exists. And this is always something you can sort of hand on to anyone else who's interested in trying the cards for themselves when they come over here, so they could always use this deck and have a little play. But yeah, overall I think it's a pretty good deck for what it is. I doubt it's a Shein original, I really doubt it. And I'm just thinking, how did I even think for 1 minute that it could be a Shein original? I thought it was, when I saw there was no creator, and it was like €2.50 or something like that. So cheap, it's ridiculous. But for what it is and how cheap it is, you know what, it's good. And some people, this is all they can afford, or it's the only option for them. And I think it is a great option on a mega budget like that for people who need it. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I think I want to do more like walk through decks and things. I don't do that much on my channel, it's not really my thing, but I really enjoyed this today, so when another one calls to me, I'll definitely be listening, and probably do another one of these videos. If you enjoyed this, please let me know with a like. A comment is always appreciated, and do subscribe if you're not yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.